Hey, and welcome to the big show. And it's going to be Belmo Live. That's what it is, right? Blair, we're talking about the fate tonight. And I think you had been chatting with Belmo himself, and he's feeling generous, right?
He
Some
is.
prizes throughout the show?
I think we're going to be giving away a fate and maybe even an autographed fate.
We're giving away not one fate, not two fates. We're giving away four fates throughout this broadcast. You have to be watching live. You do not have to do anything in order to win. Blair's going to go through a randomizer. She will pick the winner, and right live on the show, she will tell us all who won. So four fates up for grabs, including the very same fate that Jason himself used to film all of the videos you've been watching on our YouTube platform.
It's right here.
It is right here, and it's autographed. Wait, no, it's not autographed.
It is autographed.
It is autographed.
Well, yes, right here. There's an autograph.
Belmo, right
You
there,
can see
signature.
it. Yes.
All right, so there we go, folks. Jason himself is in Australia, which normally would mean he's at home, but he's not. He's at something called the Worlds, I believe. So we are going to bring him in to say good evening to you all. We welcome the world number one, and I call him the clever one because he's just a clever guy, very smart, and he is the best player in the world. It's just the facts. We welcome Jason Belmonte to the show.
G'day guys, g'day everyone in Facebook land. What is going on? How are you?
Jason, it's great to have you in the feed tonight. Tell us where you're calling in from.
I'm calling in from the beautiful Sunshine Coast in Queensland, which is the home and host of the IBF World Cup for 2022. And we have, which you can kind of see here, I'm wearing my Team Australia training shirt. We have a training session later today. And so I'm looking forward to getting to the bowling centre and checking out the lanes and seeing how it's all going. And it's a very exciting time for us Australians to be hosting some of the best bowlers from countries all over the world and bowling in, one of the world's best events.
Jason, what do the handicappers have this listed as? If I went to Vegas and wanted to bet this event in the sports book, who's the favorite team? Is it Australia? Because you're the best player in the world?
No. You Americans have a very strong team. You have Chris Prather, Carl Troop, Jacob Buttroff, and AJ Johnson, which is that's a very deep and strong team. Australia, though, we are quietly confident. We have a pretty strong team ourselves. You might know of another gentleman on the team, Sam Cooley, who is just bowling out of his mind at the moment. And we have Jared Langford, who is one of the most powerful lefties that I've seen, who throws it traditionally as well. And we have Adam Hayes, who's one of the more experienced. He's the one that's going to kind of keep our boat from rocking side to side. We're all power, the other three, and Adam's kind of the guy in the middle to kind of calm us down a little bit, and he's going to use that experience for sure to help us.
All right. Well, we wish your team, Australia, good luck, and hey, thank you for hosting the event as well. It's a beautiful country. I know a lot of the Americans that I spoke to that were going to represent Team USA were so excited to be going to Australia. Just a beautiful place, right? I mean, Australia is your home. It is a wonderful country filled with wonderful people, and I think everyone should go and visit.
Yeah, well, I like to think so, and maybe I'm a little biased, but I will tell you one thing, okay? I am probably more sympathetic for everyone traveling here than anyone else, as no matter where they're coming from, I've probably been to their country, and I know how far away Australia is. So I have a feeling we're going to see a few tired eyes and a few jet-lagged human beings over the next couple of days. But hopefully all of that will wear off by the time competition starts so they can give us their best.
Perfect. Jason, I want to talk a little bit about this new collaboration, right? We just are dropping this in 9 short days from now, and it is called Fate. And I think this is just kind of this is years of work in it. The collaboration itself between you and the R&D team at Storm have produced what is the most coveted of all of your balls to date, meaning the distributors around the world have placed monumental orders. Pro shops are super excited about this ball, and the pro staff that got them early is reporting amazing success with Fate. So why Fate? Why is it so good? And I don't know, just in general, what are you so excited about the collaboration between you and R&D?
Yeah, well, and I'm excited to give 4 of them away today. The more people that have this ball in their hand, the more excited I am, because I've just seen through social media, through text, and even some phone calls to talk about its performance, and it's such a great ball. Everyone seems to really like it. Traditional players, straighter players, two-handed hook players, and that was really part of the conversation with the R&D team. One of the things that I'm so grateful for is the patience that the R&D team have with me. Over the years, doing these collaborations, starting off with Timeless, I mean, I knew nothing. I knew very little about how bowling balls are made, what weight blocks would work with what covers, and every single collaboration, I feel like the balls are getting better. From each step, they're just getting better with an understanding on how it all works, and that's really a testament to the boys in the R&D team, who are just teaching me and helping me understand it. And so when we were talking about what we wanted Fate to do, well, the very first thing is we look at our line and we ask, where would this ball fit? What's missing? And what kind of shape do we want to see players really enjoy? And the one thing that I was always noticing on tour was there was a bit of a jump between, say, like a phase 2 or a Zen, something in that realm, to go down to what we have now as the Night Road and the High Road series. There was a bit of a gap there. And so I wanted to see that ball where you didn't have to manipulate your hand so much in that transition, going from that stronger cover, stronger core to something super weak. I wanted that something in the middle. So looking at the numbers, with the RGs and differentials, it fits perfectly in there. And then the final piece of the puzzle was, well, what cover do we want to wrap around it? We definitely didn't want it to be too clean, because we wanted it to fit in between those 2 lines of balls. And we didn't want it to be too strong. Otherwise, why would you need something in the phase line? So REX and pearlizing it was kind of that bridge in the middle. So you get the ball to roll early enough that you don't have to feel like you're in something too weak, but it doesn't go too long, so it lets you move a little further into the oil and into the burn, and throw it to the burn a little bit.
Awesome.
And once I started testing the ball, which you have on the desk right there that I've autographed, once I started throwing that ball down the lane and comparing it to the things that we had in our line, there was just a beautiful natural progression where I could start with the supernova, something strong, move to a phase 2, throwing the Fate right there. I could go to even a trend 2 in that part, a little bit more continuous than a trend 2, and then I could finish off with something in the high road range. And to me, it was like the perfect built arsenal, and that was the gap that we were missing. Not to mention that the color looks just so gorgeous going down the lane. And for everyone watching, that always you have 2 different groups of people, right? The color doesn't matter, and the color does matter. I fall into the category of the color matters to me. Like when I throw the ball down the lane, I want it to look like a piece of jewelry rolling down the lane. I love pretty bowling balls, and I think we did a really good job making Fate just a really beautiful ball, either on the shelf or in your bag or as it's going down the lane. So that's pretty much the nuts and bolts of it all.
All right, Jason, so we're going to take a deep dive in a few minutes. We are going to discuss the core itself. We're going to discuss the cover at a little bit deeper level. First, it is time to give away one of these beautiful bowling balls. So
Let's do
here
it.
we go. Blair, while you were chatting, Blair has our very first winner of the show. Blair, tell them who won and how are they going to claim their prize?
Well, first of all, you're entered to win by leaving any comment in the chat. We didn't discuss that earlier. So leave any comment and you'll be entered into our random generator. The first winner is Joe Thomas. Joe, you'll just send me an email at blair.b@stormbowling.com. Good job, Joe.
Joe, we need to know your weight of ball that you want.
And shipping address.
And shipping address, and Blair will get one shipped right out. Belmo, what do you think about Joe? You've seen Joe bowl. How's Joe's game stacking up?
Joe's solid. Joe's fate. Joe's solid. Every Joe I know is a solid bowler.
Every Joe is a good bowler. All right.
Every Joe I know.
All right. So listen, Belmo, something I want to chat about is just your pure love and enthusiasm about the game too, right? So this is something that with the videos we release, they're playing currently on our YouTube channel and through various social media feeds. I just love how much you love the game of bowling. And when we got to spend time with our pro shop operators out in Las Vegas during the Bowl Expo week this past summer, you loved it. We flipped it around. Instead of them asking you questions, you were asking them questions. And I imagine you had a really great time with that, right?
Oh, absolutely. Let's try and not get too deep here into it all, with the emotional connections to everything. But bowlers, we are so similar. And it doesn't matter what part of the industry that you're in, whether you run bowling centers, drill bowling balls, throw bowling balls, or you just have a little fun on the weekends. There is so many similarities. And when you actually get an opportunity to just stop and talk and ask questions and listen, you just see we're not that different. And I feel like our industry can sometimes feel a little divided. It can feel, whether it be manufacturers of bowling ball companies, the way that you bowl the ball, what hand you use, how many you use, what part of the country or world you're from. Sometimes I do feel like we forget those similarities and what we all really do have in common. And the overwhelming response of just joy and love that the game of bowling brings to the pro shop operators that I was talking to, the fans that I meet and talk to, it's exactly how I feel. And I know it's exactly how Storm feels with Bill and Barb from the top. They love this game. They love it. And to me, that's the very first thing that you need to have for the game of bowling. You've got to fall in love with it. And when you do, you can meet people that also love it, and then you can start to find those common grounds and hearing their stories. I think the thing that really hit me the most was how I grew up small country town. Mum and dad built the bowling center. My uncles, my aunties, my grandmother, my grandfathers, they bowled. My cousins bowled league with me. It was a really close-knit family bonding place. It's where my family went and did things together. And you hear the stories of how similar the stories are of other people, that their grandparents used to take them, their mum and dads used to take them, they bowl with their brothers and sisters or parents, and it's exactly my story. That's exactly how it started for me. And that to me really hit a nerve, because it brings you back to the core of it. And it was so lovely to hear those stories.
Yeah, this is great. I've enjoyed watching them. I enjoyed watching you ask our pro shop operators and just everyone that you come in contact with. You actually enjoy sharing a story about bowling. That's really cool. By the way, this is really fun. It probably feels what Oprah Winfrey feels like, because we're going to give away another prize, compliments of Jason. Jason's spending the money on this deal. He's the one giving away these balls. Blair, who do you got for our second winner of the night getting a new fate?
I can't read my own handwriting. I think it's Chris Frank.
Chris Frank, come on down. You're the winner.
Chris Frank, you're the second winner.
There you go, Jason.
Another fate goes out.
There's a couple of good Chris bowlers too, like Joe's and Chris's good bowlers.
And
a lot
remember,
of good Chris's. Is
email
Chris spelled
Blair.
with a C or with a K?
It's a C.
Okay. If it was a K, I would say that he wouldn't be the best Christopher with a K bowler I know. I'd probably have to give that title to Chris Prather. I think he would probably win that one. But Chris with a C, maybe he's better than Chris Barnes. I doubt it, but maybe.
What about Chris Vi? Is he better than Chris Vi?
Well, I think Chris Barnes probably tops Chris Vi, for career. But Chris has got time on his sleeve. Chris could get there. Chris Vi could get there.
I love it. All right. Well, Chris and Joe, as a reminder, you'll email blair.b@stormbowling.com. Super easy, hopefully.
All right. Congratulations to our first 2 winners. And now, Belmo, I would like to get your take, and we're going to talk the outside part of the ball first. As you mentioned earlier, this is a very beautiful ball, and it can be adjusted, right? We've sanded them, we've polished them up. It performs really well depending on your needs. It's beautiful. I think you referred to it as a kind of an oceany type of a blue. It's really called Sapphire Pearl is the name of the color. But what do you think about this core, this REX Pearl Reactive?
Yeah, well, the REX has been one of our latest, more successful covers, and it fits in our line pretty much as I described it a little earlier. Is it doesn't want to grab the lane too early, but it doesn't want to go too long. And so when you're building an arsenal, to have that range in the middle is really important, because that's where I think a lot of players can find a little trouble. They might have a ball that they have for game 1 and 2 where it's early and it's fresh and the lanes are fine and it's a little stronger, and they might have something for the last game of their block where they know they can really open up the lane. But sometimes in that middle zone, it can be really tricky to find what's the right ball for you, and the REX cover just fits. A lot of the bowling balls that we have that cover on, you see the players using them, especially in that transition period. So wrapping REX and then throwing the Pearl additive, it just gave us that little bit of flexibility to manipulate the surface itself. So one of the things that people may not be aware when you're doing the testing is obviously you test the ball as it would be thrown to a consumer off the shelf, but you also want to see its versatility and what you can manipulate it with and how you can change the surface and see how it rolls. And being able to throw it with the reactor gloss and seeing the ball motion and the way that it continued through the pins, and then being able to hit the surface with 4,000 and then 3,000 and 2,000 and 1,000, and just seeing that whilst the motion changes due to that scuffing of the surface, you don't lose the overall characteristics of the ball. And that's super important, to be able to see a ball with a bit of surface on it as well as shiny and still see the characteristics of that really strong continuation through the pins. That is vital when you're trying to generate angle and strike from different parts of the lane. And also, it becomes very versatile on different oil lengths and oil volumes, knowing that I can just hit the surface a little bit with an Abralon pad to get it to read where I want it to read, but not lose that continuation down lane. That's a huge tick in that column. So the boys in the R&D team, who create these covers and been able to mix them with the right weight blocks, they're brilliant. They really are brilliant people.
Yeah, the REX Pearl Reactive cover is awesome. Reactive gloss leaves almost looks like a whole different chemical, and it is performing outstandingly. So you got a winner with the outside part of the ball for sure. And speaking of winners, let's give away our third ball of the night. And
let's do it.
We'll go to Blair.
Write your comments in the comments quick before Blair says someone else's name.
Oh, well, the next drawing is live. I don't have that one generated yet. But the third giveaway, Lindsay Reardon, you are the winner. Lindsay, thanks for watching. Email blair.b@stormbowling.com. Now, get the comments in for the 4th giveaway. We have one more fate.
We got one more.
Can I just say, Gary and Blair, that when I grew up, if I could just watch a live stream to win a brand new bowling ball, that would have been amazing. That would have been absolutely amazing. What a time to be alive.
What a time.
True that.
Technology is cool. It brings us closer together. You're all the way around the other side of the world from where we are here at Brigham City, Utah, headquarters of Storm. And we're having this great chat with you as you're getting ready to go and play with your teammates, right? It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I know most of the people watching may not be going for Team Australia, but we're going to give it our best crack to try and, beat you Americans.
All right, so this is the next topic, and we'll get to our grand prize, which we talked about. You're getting the ball that Jason bowled with, and along with the ball, you're getting the 2-pack. You're getting your own new one. It'll be our last final grand prize. The only thing left to talk about Fate is the core, and this core, it's a new core. And this F8 core is something that it appears is allowing any style to use with success. Because people always say, oh, as a Belmo collab, do I have to be a two-handed player? No. You do not have to be a two-handed player. This core is rolling amazing. So why don't you take us through your thoughts on the core and how you guys came up with it and why you're so pumped about it.
Right, so not verbatim, but this is how the conversation went with the R&D team. Is I took one of our more stronger ball motions, and let's say it rolled here, and then we took one of our later reacting bowling ball motions, and let's say it reacted there, and I said I want my ball to start hooking in the middle of those two spots. So that was the very first conversation that I wanted to share with them, was this is the location on the lane where I would really like to see this ball begin to make its motion. And then it takes a few drawings and it takes a few tests, balls made, and then you test them and throw them down the lane to see how close you are. And it's pretty remarkable. And I don't want to sound like I'm really overemphasizing how clever these guys are, but it's science, right? And you have to do tests and you have to make them, and you don't know if you've got it right until you throw it down the lane and you test it, and then you track that data. And the very first tests that I was sent were nearly on the money. Looking at the design of the weight block itself, the shape, it definitely has a little rocket feel about it. If those that are familiar from the old rocket days, which I absolutely love that ball, and so a lot of people really enjoy that ball using, like I said, any different type of release and style. So that excited me that it had that kind of feel about it, but also the fact that they were able to get that ball and the weight block itself to kick into motion right at that break point where I was looking for. So you get sent these test balls, then you get asked, how did it go through the pins? And then you start saying, you know what? I think we can get it to go through the pins just a pinch better, just a little stronger through the pins. So, we can really kick that 10 out. The very next test that I was able to throw was there at HQ. And we've got plenty of video showing it. You just see where the ball leaves the pin deck. And that's what you're looking for when you're asking for motion through the pins. You're seeing how the pins are falling and how they're bouncing around, but you're also watching the ball and where it goes after it hits the pins. And we've all thrown shots where we split the 8-9. We see the ball go through the 1-3 or the 1-2, and it just drives right in the middle of the pin deck, and there's little deflection to the outside part of the lane. And I saw that kind of motion with Fate more than any other collaboration ball that I've put together with. So you look around, and I'm sure, well, Gary, you were in the room for most of that test in, and just the expressions on my face. And because I'm pretty honest, like when I throw something and if I threw it good and didn't like the way that it goes through the pins, well, that's what the testing phase is all about. So you're brutally honest. And I just remember constantly saying, like, even under my breath, like, wow, like, oh my goodness, like that's exactly what I'm looking for. That's exactly what everyone wants to see from their ball going through the pins. And it's an incredible weight block, the F8, which obviously when you say a little faster, F8, fate, makes sense as well.
Yeah, it's very clever. I love it. Belmo, we are kicking off a huge campaign, right? So this is it's a big fun launch for us. This week on Friday, consumers are going to be encouraged to go in and just snap a picture with their favorite Pro Shop operator out there. And so we're going to run this contest for 4 weeks, give away 4 more fates. It's going to start on Friday. It will go for 4 weeks. There's all sorts of ways that you can gain entries. Blair will be sending out an email and posting on our social platforms telling about all the ways that you can win. Plus, I think it'll be on our website somewhere too, right? So check that out. Belmo, before we close out the show, I just want to ask you again on record. Australia taking down Team USA. Come on, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not turning up to the bowling center playing for silver. I am a realist. I understand that the road ahead of us is tricky, especially with Team Sweden, who is very strong.
Yep.
Team USA team, very strong. The Canadian team, very strong. Malaysia. So there's some strong teams here.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
I know that it's going to be a rocky road. But for those that are familiar with Australia and in sport, we are typically the underdogs. We Australians like to be able to take down the Goliaths of any sport that we are in. And we have many stories through our history as a nation of things we weren't supposed to win on paper, but yet there we were holding the trophies and the medals at the end of it. So I'm very confident that we are going to make it a very difficult time for the other teams to get past us. And that's all I can hope for, is that we give our absolute best as a team. And if we do that, we'll make it very, very difficult for everyone else, not just you Americans, everyone else.
Jason, there was a question earlier, and you might have mentioned it, but who is the anchor of Team Australia? I'm putting you on.
Well, yeah, I mean, something that people probably they might assume is that I might have a incredibly large ego in which I must be anchor, I must be in that position, and it's not quite that way for me. I'm very much put me in the spot that is needed. If it happens to be anchor, then I'll take that role. If another one of our players just cannot miss and has a great ball reaction, then the responsibility falls onto their shoulders, and I'm okay with all of that. So you're asking me today if I'm going to be the anchor, and my answer is if my coach asks me to be the anchor, then I will take that responsibility, and if it's someone else, then I'm going to try and give them a strike before they get up and bowl the 10th.
I love it. All right, it's time for our 4th giveaway. We have a grand prize giveaway, and we're going to show a video before the end of the show.
Blair, did I hear Gary say that you don't only win the autographed fate, but you also get another fate for you to drill?
That's the grand prize. You get this fate and a fate.
All right, let me just quickly write a comment. I want to get in this one.
You need to win your ball back.
I need to win my... Well, it was such a good bloody ball. I had a fight with Gary about giving it up. I'm like, can I keep this one? He's like, no, let's use this one for a giveaway. I'm like, oh, come on, let me keep this one.
I love it. Okay, so the 4th winner, this is just for the fate, is Samuel Nam. You will get a fate of your very own, so just email blair.b@stormbowling.com.
All right. And that means there's going to be one more grand prize left, Blair. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and I think we should show...
So it's going to be 5 fates. I was saying we were giving away 4 and this one, but you just gave away an additional fate. So lucky you for staying tuned in.
Yeah, but
good job.
I just confirmed it. So whether it was a slip of the tongue or not.
Yeah, we messed up, but you're going to win. So good for you.
You said we were like Oprah. Like Oprah gave away all the cars. Everyone won.
Everyone gets a car.
Whoa, Blair, slow down here, all right? We're not giving away all the fates.
Yeah.
All right? We're giving them all away.
All right. Just 5. Plus another 4 starting Friday. So pretty exciting stuff. But what I wanted to do was play the video of you throwing the fate. And then maybe you talk about it, but maybe we can come back and you can share even more thoughts now that it's been a little bit of time and you can look back at the video.
You got it. Press play.
G'day guys, Jason Belmonte here, and I'm at the Gold Coast Hotel Casino here in Viva Las Vegas, and we're going to talk a little bit about this new bowling ball that I have in my hand, the Fate. Now, for those that are interested in more of the interworkings, more of the science behind the bowling ball, we've got a brand new weight block inside. It's called the F8, which has an RG of 252 and a differential of 053. So you're gonna see this ball kind of look and feel a little like a Wolverine, but with a little bit more jump there on the back because we've wrapped it in a pearlized REX cover. One of the things that I have been really excited about Fate is that through my progress in collaboration balls, I've really learned and discovered so much more about how we make bowling balls, why we make them the way that we do, and how we can design them to fit in our arsenals. And through each of the collaborations, the knowledge that I've really soaked in from the R&D team at Storm has been really mind-opening, and I've really enjoyed it. So with Fate, it's probably the most input with this collaboration that I've actually had the opportunity to give. So I'm super excited to throw this down the lane. Now, if you're looking for, you don't know, you don't care about the numbers, you're just looking at ball shape, I'm gonna throw this a few times. And I want you guys to have a look at how easy it pushes through the front part of the lane and the movement that it makes on the back. It's one of those will not quit on you. Give it a little extra room, you've always got that belief it's gonna come back. And that is because of that F8 weight block. So check it out. It's just remarkable. Yeah, the guys in the R&D department, through our conversations, what they've been able to create here is a ball that I feel like the further I get it going to the right, the more confidence I have that I'm gonna see it recover back to the pocket.
I love it. This ball looks amazing. Jason, it's time for the grand prize winner. Before we give it away, oh, Blair just changed it.
Oh, we can go back. Hang on. It's a click.
Before we do the grand prize, final comments from you, Jason, on just your thought about the game and your fans. You have a lot of fans worldwide. They love you. And where do they follow you? If they're not following you, what's your favorite channel that you post on to get inside track of Belmo?
Well, to start off with the very first question you asked about where I see the game, I think the thing that excites me the most is how evidently obvious the passion for our game has been since COVID-19, when we as a industry, community, individuals were unable to bowl, we missed it. And it is very obvious since coming back how much passion is still in this game. And the passion can sometimes be shown, maybe a little hostility-wise, but that to me also shows how much we all care about our game. And that is probably the biggest eye-opener since COVID, that there's a lot of us that are very much in love with this game still. If you want to keep up with anything that I'm doing personally, you can follow me on all of the social media platforms. You just search my name or at @Belmo. For the most part, I think it might be at Jason Belmonte on YouTube. And there's two massive thank yous, really. The first one been to Storm and teaching me and trusting me with these collaborations, and showing that support and that faith in me as an athlete and a representative, but also to the bowlers out there that purchase Storm bowling balls or collaboration balls of mine. That support does not go unnoticed, and it's a pretty amazing feeling when, I put my bowling ball on a rack and I see that there's, trends and trend twos and promotions on the mat. It's a really amazing feeling. So thank you to everyone that's supporting me, and in particular with this fate. Like Gary mentioned, it's the most sold collaboration ball to date, and it just makes me very excited to get this ball into the hands of everyone. And now we get a chance to give another two of them away, one autographed and one for them to drill. So I'm even more excited.
I actually am putting my fingers in the grips that you used. They're a little big, Jason.
Well, you need to put a thumb hole in that one for you, Blair.
That's fair. That's true.
Blair, who is our lucky grand prize winner? And then we will say goodbye to you all, and to Jason. We wish you great luck at the championships this week, to you and your teammates. Blair, who's our final winner?
The final winner is Micah Jensen.
Micah Jensen.
Micah Jensen.
Way to go.
Yes.
A really talented youth bowler that we get to see sometimes at the Storm U Championships. Congratulations, Micah. That's a huge prize for you, my friend.
I'll be good.
Congratulations, mate. Did we mention that there was one stipulation that if I happen to bowl against these people with fate, they're not allowed to use fate against me?
Yeah, unfair. So unfair advantage against Belmo.
Yeah, you can't use the ball against me. You can use it after you play against me, but you can't use it against me.
Do you make that rule on the PBA tour too?
I have said it a few times, and then there's a part of me that sometimes thinks if I lose, I'm okay with it. I'm like, oh, they use the ball with my logo, and I'm okay to lose to that game. But my record on television against those that have used the ball against me has been strong in my favor. So I'm not doing myself any favors selling more of these balls, because I keep beating the guys who want to use them against me. But I got a feeling this fate, I'm going to have my hands pretty tied up with this one. The guys are going to really like this one too, especially the guys that like to get a little left of the middle arrow. They're going to really enjoy seeing this ball shape through the pins.
All right, everyone. Jason, we thank you for your time and your generosity in giving away this product tonight for everyone that tuned in. It is available next Friday, worldwide release date. So go pick one up with the new iPhone that you want to go grab, and they'll be great Christmas gifts, I think.
Absolutely. Cheers, you two. Thank you to everyone watching. Hope to see you guys soon. Good luck, Team Australia. Let's go.